Hey guys, Friday, November 15, 2024. Let's see what the Black Widow is going to do today. Without any further delay, let's get into it. So far, EIA report was not great. As you can see, we failed our anchored VWAP. We have been not kissing it. We were close here, but we failed it here. Retreating back. And that's interesting. Oh, this is the weekly. So, yeah, it's not the daily. So far, the volume was very bullish, and today it's pulling back. It looks like it's probably going to go to the point of control around 260, 259, and if that does not hold, it'll probably continue pushing lower. And this is the weekly. Let's look at the daily. So far, we get a little closer here. You can see that we failed the value area high. We could never penetrate 302, 301. We broke point of control of 276, and now we're hanging around the value area high of 270. And this is our anchored VWAP from the February 20 low of 152. And you can see that the bears came, and the EIA report probably didn't help either. On top of that, large speculators are short, commercial are buying. Maybe they're right overall. Maybe they think, that nat gas is going lower and that this was it. These were our highs. She typically does like a last leg somewhere, if depending on seasonality and whatever, or the year, but around this time frame, and maybe we start seeing stair stepping lower. This is probably it. I thought we were going to go higher, at least above 302 and get some liquidity, but that didn't play out. Let's put our trend line real quick and see. Yep. As you can see, we're finding support right at that trend line, which is right here. If this doesn't hold, there's a big drop to some other important trend lines here. Let's go into our simple glance. I'm going to go straight to the daily. So far, we got a PPS sell signal. And you can see that the Hakanashi candles are now red because now the trend is down. And if we close below 269, things are going to start escalating. We took out point of control around 274. However, we do have the 20, the 50 SMA, and you got this big line of support right here in the cloud of between 244. MACD is negative, so that doesn't help. And the linear regression channels are sideways, so it could probably be one of these things. Maybe, I don't know if it's going to be moving like that in between now and February. Typically, it just unwinds into January and February of next year. So once you start seeing the linear regression channels pointing down that way, especially this gray one, then that's when it's probably going to go like that, going down, in my opinion. Let's go into our geometry real quick. And so far, we failed at 25%. Never could penetrate 301. And I want to see now if this angle is going to hold on nat gas. If it cracks that, it's probably going to go much lower. We also failed the FT levels right here. Our lowest was the lowest one was 279. Look where we're at. It has potential to go all the way to 238 and maybe even lower, knowing the seasonality is not in our favor. Retail Gann fans, we broke the green. You got this one now coming in. They'll be watching. Our 1027 high, we failed the 50% of 293. Your next support using that technique will be 258, which is a 25%. And looking at our 3.5 high first impulse, which is this one right here, we are at our 1/3 right here. So let's see if this holds. If this doesn't hold, there's a big drop to the next angle using the Gann grid first impulse wave. Or in this case, it'll probably be the second impulse wave. Let's see what else I had to show you here. Well, you already know about the gap fill. So if we continue going lower, we'll eventually fill this out. But I think it'll be a nice sweet spot for January and February. For a nice swing low if it's going to play out. And my MM moves, look at that. It didn't get price-wise up here, but it really picked the high, that turning point, which was, I said, November 13th. I don't know if I said that on the video, but I was noticing that just in case it never made it up there, it could be a possible turning point. Let's see. Trend lines, yep. We got this on the other one, I believe is a log scale. It's already here. It could push lower and touch that. Trend line that I'm watching. And let's see. The SQ level is $3. We failed. The next important SQ level will be $2.59. Has potential to get down there. And maybe even lower. But it's not going to go in a straight line. Remember, it's going to like find some support maybe here. Or maybe in the trend line. And then it's going to bounce. And, you know, I think it's probably going to bounce Monday. But then it's going to be a dead cat bounce. And then they're going to slam it and probably push it lower. I can't see it moving up from here. Yeah, like 264. Let's go to our midpoint chart real quick. And so far, we're below our quadrant. The big level right here will probably be the 255. Still intact, but it's going to take a while before things start, you know, shifting. On our daily, using our monthly pivot, we already took out the 75. We took out this quadrant, so your midpoint for the month will be 261. And you got this moving average, but it could probably blow right through it. If anything, it could probably go down here and find support, and you can see that we already cracked the MOBO, and it looks like the Stokes are unwinding to the downside. The 4-hour chart using daily pivots, this is your midpoint for the week, around 266, and I think that's where it's heading today. And once it gets there, it might hold, and then Monday do a dead cat bounce. I don't know, maybe kiss this up here around 284, who knows, or maybe 281, but I'm expecting a dead cat bounce for Monday. So if you're not short, I'm out of my longs. I'm waiting for a dead cat bounce and then go short. Let's see. Lastly, the 1 hour. We're already below the 200 moving average. In the overnight, I was telling someone on the YouTube that let's see how the overnight does. If it maybe goes sideways here, and they maybe may try to test the midpoint on the US session, but it's so weak that it's not even doing that. So it's like in the overnight, it's just still selling off. So maybe in the US they'll bounce it, but it's going to be a dead cat bounce. Your final target for today will probably be 264. Between 270 and 264. And if it bounces, I probably can't see it going above 276, you know, even 281. You got a quadrant of 278. So whatever bounce is probably going to be dead and then maybe end around 264. I'm going to sign out. Hope you like this video. I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on that gas.